Only 0.9% of viewers have subscribed to our channel, meaning 99.1% of you are missing out on regular updates. If you enjoy this content, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell to stay informed. Now, let's dive into today's story. During a recent episode of ABC's 7.30 report, Greens MP Max Chandler-Mather made headlines as he became visibly emotional discussing the housing crisis and its devastating impact on his generation. Host Sarah Ferguson pressed Chandler-Mather on whether the Greens had let down younger voters by agreeing to support two housing bills proposed by the Albanese government, a move seen by some as a significant compromise. Chandler-Mather, 32, admitted feeling a deep sense of responsibility and regret.
"I feel like I've let them down a little bit.
Every day we don't address the housing crisis. My generation is likely to be worse off than our parents, and I feel that deeply," he said, his voice trembling. He shared personal anecdotes about friends struggling with unaffordable rent and the seeming impossibility of home ownership, describing it as a painful reality that weighs heavily on him. For months, the Greens had delayed the Albanese government's Help to Buy and Build to Rent housing bills, advocating for stricter measures such as caps on rent increases and changes to property investor tax concessions. Despite their demands not being met, the Greens ultimately chose to support the bills. Chandler-Mather explained, "There comes a time when you realize you've pushed as hard as you can. We decided to pass these two bills and take this fight to the next election." Ferguson questioned whether the Greens' shift was motivated by fear of electoral backlash for not supporting the bills. Chandler-Mather, a persistent critic of Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, refuted this claim, arguing that the party's decision was a pragmatic one. The Help to Buy scheme allows the government to cover up to 40% of the cost of a newly built home, 30% for existing homes, for eligible buyers earning under $90,000 individually or $120,000 as a couple. This initiative aims to make housing more affordable, with the government's share to be repaid upon the sale of the property. The build-to-rent legislation provides tax incentives to developers to construct more rental properties, addressing Australia's growing rental shortage. In 2023, the Greens had successfully secured an additional $3 billion for social housing during negotiations over the Housing Australia Future Fund. However, they were unable to achieve further concessions this year, prompting criticism from both Labor and some progressive voters. Housing Minister Clare O'Neil welcomed the resolution of the political deadlock but criticised the Greens for delaying action on housing reform for over 2 years. "I'm glad the Greens have finally seen the light," she remarked, adding, "That doesn't excuse the fact that they played politics with housing." Prime Minister Albanese has also been vocal about his disdain for the Greens' tactics. He has previously referred to Chandler-Mather as a joke, while other senior Labor figures labelled him self-indulgent and egotistical. During heated exchanges in Parliament, Albanese accused the Greens of obstructing progress for political gain. The Greens, however, argue that their persistence forced Labor to reconsider policies such as negative gearing, a tax break for property investors that is often blamed for exacerbating housing unaffordability. Chandler-Mather highlighted that while the Greens didn't secure major concessions, they succeeded in pressuring Labor to evaluate this long-standing policy. The Green strategy of balancing progressive environmental and housing policies while appealing to a broader voter base has proven challenging. In recent elections, they made gains in some regions, like the Northern Territory, while losing seats in others, such as the Australian Capital Territory. With federal elections on the horizon, the 3 Brisbane seats held by the Greens are considered vulnerable. While Greens leader Adam Bandt downplayed concerns about declining support, citing strong results in New South Wales and Victoria councils, the party appears to be adopting a more moderate approach to avoid alienating voters. Max Chandler-Mather's rise as a first-term MP has been marked by significant achievements, including securing billions in funding for housing. However, 2024 has been a humbling year for him. Despite his fiery idealism and opposition to the Prime Minister, he found himself advocating for a compromise within his party. According to reports, it was Chandler-Mather who recommended that the Greens support both housing bills, signalling a shift toward pragmatism. This decision, while politically astute, has drawn criticism from some quarters for appearing to abandon the party's core principles.
Thank you for tuning in to Aussie Pulse.
If you found this video insightful, please hit the like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
Your support helps us bring you the latest and most accurate news updates. See you next time.